Hello and welcome to Dees20Stitches. I'm Dee. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a trans and queer stitcher and crafter and designer of cross-stitch items. I also am a educator and just like a clown. Welcome back. Welcome back to me. I haven't done a regular Flosstube since May. Since probably May. I did do a like a stash parade, stash parade. I did a primer for Stitch for Pride. And then other than that, I just have not sat down and like showed you what I'm up to. A lot has happened. So I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to use my little book of days. And I'm going to just go through, instead of going through like all my WIPs together and all my haul together, etc., etc., I'm just going to take you on a little journey. I'm just going to go from the last Flosstube in May, and I'm just going to go through and tell you every day like what I did, finishes, starts, WIPs, haul. It's all going to be interspliced. I have a lot to talk about, especially in June. This is probably going to be very close to like a Stitch for Pride WIP parade because I have so much. And then as always, at the end of the video, I'll have just a teeny bit of education. Okay, let's get started. I filmed my Flosstube May, according to my book, I filmed my last Flosstube May 2nd. It is now July. I had a lot going on. It's fine. So that means you did not see that I had a finish. I actually finished this in May 4th. This is Oology. Oology, Oology by Satsuma Street. It's just one of them. They come in 4. And this is on an Aida that I dyed myself. It is DMC of course. And all called for. I did not stitch the background. Each one of these has a background, but I thought the hand-dyed Aida that I dyed myself, I thought it was just so pretty that I just went with it. Now, you will see that it's got some hangy stuff off of it. And it has hangy stuff off of it because I am in the midst of finishing this. Now, I was in the midst of finishing this, like fully finishing this, back in May. And it's getting there. I'm turning this into a stuffy. I want to get this done. This is, of course, if you were a person who watched my other videos, a lot of my friends lately have had bebés. And so every time someone has a bebé, I make a little cross-stitch stuffy for them. They had their bebé a long time ago. So I've got to just finish it. So hopefully I'll finish it. Next video, you'll see it all finished. I say that a lot. I say that like, oh, hopefully next video, you'll see it fully finished. But that's the name of the game, right? So that's Oology's Satsuma Street. So many color changes, folks. Too many for me. Too many for me. Next, I got a surprise. And I got a surprise from fellow Canadian Kaylee Cruff. And she has a shop called the sewingshop.ca. I'll put the linky below. And Kaylee had a sale for her birthday. And I'm like, oh, you know what I need? More bags. You know what you need? Hey, you know what you need? More bags, probably, right? More project bags. So I was going to order one anyway because I had my eye on one. I'll show it to you. It's in here. And Kaylee messaged me and said, hey, I would like to send you some either for yourself or for giveaway. And I said, hey, I was going to buy some for your sale anyway. So it all works out. So let me just show you the one that I got. Oh gosh. So Kaylee's bags are really neat because they are square. Let me hold it up. They're square. So they beautifully just have a Q-snap and vinyl. This is why I bought this one. This is why I love it. The little koi. Are you kidding me? And each of Kaylee's bags have a little doodad on the zipper pull. Yeah. It looks like it's made out of like the fishy. It looks like it's made out of like a pillow cushion, which is super cool. Like I think, don't quote me on this, but it's like a very used recycle sort of thing. The only thing I wish was the zippers were a little bigger. But it fits. This is, I'll show you what's in here later, but it fits my big long dog. So this is the one I bought. And then these are the two that Kaylee sent me, and they're a giveaway. Even though I really want to keep them. But I think I should spread the wealth because these are great. Okay, first of all, jaw hit the floor. Look at that one. Rainbow. You kidding me? Holy crapoly. And then, I don't know if it'll focus. This, a little balloon animal. Ah! This one, the zipper is bigger, I think. I don't know. Really, like that will fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap. I say as I don't have a measuring tape and I just eyeball it. It will fit a big Q-snap. This one, and then this one too, the black and white. Love it. With the little rabbits. So cute, so darling. And then the little rabbit. It's these Kaylee and also Vintage Owl bags. They always do these little, I'm dying over the little pulls. It's a little rabbit. These two, even though I desperately want to keep them, I don't really need them. So I'm going to share the wealth. I'll talk about it at the end. One of these is actually going to a giveaway I have on my Instagram. I hit over 2,000 followers. So I'm going to be giving one of these away with stuff in it. And then the other one I will be giving away at the end for next Flosstube. Thank you, Kaylee. These are unlike any bags I've seen, and I really like the squareness of them. They're really neat. So if you like them, check out Kaylee's store. I'll put the link below. It's just the sewingshop.ca. Canadian. Are you kidding me? Love a Canadian. Okay. So I got those in May. The other thing that happened very early, I think in June, is I had like a little like get together with two of my very good friends, and it was our own little start of Pride celebration, in that we ordered takeout and we dyed wool and we dyed some Ada and some floss. My very best bud Al, they used to do a lot of knitting and dyeing, and so they brought over some wool and all their dyes, and we had so much fun. So let me show you what we did, because I'm so proud of myself. Do you see my butt? Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. So these were done with ice dyeing. I've never done it before. And basically what we did is we just put ice, we crumpled up some Ada and then put ice on it and then just sprinkled stuff. So this is the first piece we did. And this was all like, just like sprinkling. This is 14 count. I love the little like green. here. And this one, holy jumping. Dang, son. Looks like a little bat in the middle. Like a Rorschach test. These are gorgeous. These are gorgeous. I think, I don't know, a lot of y'all have these like really, really bright pieces. And all I want to do is just stitch white on them. Or black. And just let the fabric really shine. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. This, I think I know what I'm going to do with. Okay, so we did, the same time we did the fabric, we did floss. Now, it's not, of course it's not showing up on camera. Maybe it is. Each of these flosses are slightly different. And it makes, you can kind of see it. It goes from like dark pink and blues and maroon to like more orangey and yellows. There are 7 skeins. I called it friends. Friends! There's 7 skeins. That's enough for a long dog, right? 7 skeins of 8 yards. That's enough, right? I would love, my dream. My dream would be to do one of those long dogs and then each like couple columns do like this one for 5 columns like down, this one, next 5 columns, this one. And so you get like a variegation moving across. Wouldn't that be amazing? Do I need another long dog? Absolutely not. Is 7 skeins enough to do a long dog? You tell me. How about do some enabling, folks? If you can enable me, that would be fantastic. What long dog would be good to do this pattern in, or this with this floss, where you have that vertical variegation with 7 skeins? Is there a pattern that would be good for that? You know better than me. I know nothing. You know better than me. I'm very excited about this. Are we going to dye again? Absolutely. 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 I think what I'll end up doing is we'll dye a bunch and I'll just like give it away to y'all because I don't really need it all. But I love doing it. Right? Dang. So nice. I could put it back up on that wall, but I won't. I'll just leave it on my desk. It's going to be a disaster. Okay. Now, according to my calendar, we have gotten to June, which means Stitch for Pride. If you have no idea what Stitch for Pride is, I'm not going to explain it here. You can actually go back to the last video that I did in my series and watch that, what it's all about. Just like too long to read summarization. I gave people a calendar, and the calendar had education pieces about our community and also little stitching prompts. So every day you did a little reading, did a little education to celebrate Pride, to learn a little bit more about our community, and then you got to stitch. I will talk about like how I feel about Stitch for Pride at the end. I won't go through it now. It'll be part of the education part. But I started out strong. I started out pretty strong. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces and a new release out. So this will be like the Stitch for Pride WIP parade. Okay, you ready? Let's see if I can find, okay, I got it. Look at this. Oh, so heavy. So heavy. Okay, This one I worked on quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I worked on it 23 days in May and a handful in June. I got some big work on it. I also brought this piece when I took my trip, which I'll tell you about later. This is Quaker rainbow tiles. I no longer stitch this designer, nor can I recommend them because of a couple things that they said that I don't necessarily agree about. But if you're like desperate for it, there's ones like this that are not them. And if you're absolutely desperate for it, then you can message me, I'll tell you, right? Who they are. When you see this, you're going to be like, Dee, that's offensive. Just finish. I'm going to swear. So cover your ears, earmuffs. You're going to say, Dee, fucking finish it. I know that's a lot. Those are strong words, but wait till you. Rainbow Quaker tiles. It's on black Aida that I dyed myself, and the dyeing was unsuccessful. So I am full coveraging it with black in the background. I'm stitching the black, and like you're thinking, wow, it's done? No, it's not. It's not done. It's not. It's just. It's a half of a block. If I could get this done tonight. I've got other stuff going on. Does this make you angry? Bully me. I told on Instagram, I said, bully me into working on it. And I forget the person who commented, but someone said, you know what? Maybe you're not finishing it because you enjoy it so much. And I think they're right. Like I've been working on this piece since, let me give you, December 31st, 2020. So this is a pre Backstreet Boys reunion tour WIP. Is it? No, it's not. God, it's what? No, yes. No, it's not. It's not. We were in the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. When were we not? We're still in it. I could finish this. And this would be, again, it's full coverage, so this would be probably the biggest WIP I have finished. But that person's comment was correct. I really enjoy this. It's on Aida, and I don't stitch a lot on Aida. It's simple. There's not a lot of color changes. It's mindless. I don't need the pattern all the time. All I do need it for I need it for a quarter of one of the tiles, and then I can just complete the rest of the tile based on that quarter tile. So I have really enjoyed stitching it, especially since I've gotten the Lowry, because I can finish, again, I can finish a half a square a day. I put in a lot. I think the last time you may have seen it, I think like this section, I must have completed all of these. And maybe I'm not finishing it because I like it so much. So, okay. Let's do some psychiatry here. Psychology. I think what I'm feeling in my bones is I need a replacement for this, right? I need a piece that I can stitch on Aida. I need a piece that does not have a lot of colors. I need a piece that I don't need to look at the pattern all the frickin' time. and maybe it's big. Do you know a pattern like that? Rainbow would be a plus. Rainbow would be a plus. Mindless, please. Yes, I need that. This is what I need. And maybe if I have that, then I will finish this. We really went Fraser Crane on me, huh? I can't finish it because I don't have anything else like it. All my other WIPs are, a lot of them are on linen. A lot of them are not mindless. I need something mindless. If you have something mindless, let me know. Please, please. This is why I do Flosstube, so I can get suggestions. Please, 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 please. Okay, almost done. I will say the same thing as I did with the bird. Next time you see it, it will be finished. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, next. It's in this bag. It's in my Keely bag. This is St. Reatham. Oh, I'm not telling you the prompts to go with it. So again, on Stitch for Pride, I had like a list of prompts because I used all of these for multiple prompts. If you want to look at them, I'll put it all down below. If you want to look at the prompts, I said before in my Stitch for Pride video, it's open anytime. If you just want to do it, do it. Do it. It will make me happy. I worked on St. Reatham by Long Dog. And this is my oldest WIP. So I have 2 pages done. And I decided to go south for the winter. And I decided I worked on it for a couple days. Work on this piece. There we are. God, I could stitch on this forever, and I probably will. My goal by going south is I want to make sure I have enough fabric. I'm pretty sure I do. But I just want to make sure I have enough fabric. I usually pick this up in Sampler September. This is usually the one that I pick up. I really like it. It goes fast. It's on linen. It's on like a 20, I think it's a 28 count because the stitches look big. It's just, I'm just using white. And my problem is I think I'm a little like I'm greasy or something because the white up here is not the same as the white down here just because it's been so long. I started this in 2020. I started this, did I start this pre-Backstreet Boys reunion tour? Yes, I did. I started this January 1st, 2020. So pre-Backstreet Boys reunion tour. My goal is to do a page a year because I'm being reasonable. That's my goal. So I'll get by the end of the year. We'll find out if I have measured this correctly. I don't have a picture of that for you because it's just, you know, it's a long dog. Oh, I do have a picture of it for you. This is it. I love it. My partner picked it out. This was like, I think I told this story before. I had gotten back into cross stitch, like pre me finding Flosstube, pre me designing, etc., etc. I had gotten back into cross stitch. I had finished up a bunch of like really old projects, like from 2010, 2012. And I wanted to get back into it. I found the long dogs, and this was my first project on linen, and like my first big one that I was like, I'll finish it in a year. And then And then I realized I can do other projects, right? I can do more than one at a time. I didn't used to. Used to be monogamous. Hydrate. Okay. Let's see. Next one. Arranging seashells. I'll show you what it looks like. This is by Ink Circles. There we are. Ink Circles. You know, Ink Circles could probably be, when we were talking about a replacement for rainbow Quaker tiles, maybe a Ink Circles? Maybe. By the way, I just got to plug them because I love them. I got this one from Mislaid Pages. You cannot see their card. You just have to trust me. And here we go. This is usually my summertime project, but I got it out. Yeah. It is. This was my first foyer. Foyer? That's foyer for. I think foyer is like a room, like your entrance room. What am I trying to say? Don't know. This is my first try into stitching 1/1. Here she is. And a butt. Hey, classy butt. Oh, I guess it, well, I guess it goes this way. It doesn't matter because I have another plan with it, but we'll put it this way. There we are. Hey, this is on hand-dyed fabric. It is, let's say a 25 count. Am I gonna, I'm fuzzy. I'm just gonna, oh, look at my skin. We're trying. Oh. We're trying. I'm gonna hold this up a little bit and talk, and then maybe my thing will. This is with the DMC, so it gives you a DMC and a fancy floss. So here's my plan. I am stitching it once in DMC, and then what I'm going to stitch is I'm going to stitch the mirror version in the fancy floss. I've already bought it. I've already bought it. I haven't even had my weed soda today. I bought the fancy floss before establishing that they are no longer a company that I want to support. And again, if you want to know why, just DM me. But I have them now, so I'm going to use them. I'm not going to trash them. So this is basically a quarter of what I will be doing. I'll be doing the first one in DMC, and then the mirror version in fancy floss, and then I'm going to fold them. Oh, I'm in focus now. I'm going to fold them, and I'm going to make a little needle book. I'm going to make a little needle book. They say as if it will be accomplished quickly. I usually bring this on summer vacation, and I will be doing that again. So hopefully I'll get some more. Hopefully I'll get some more work on that one. It was nice to bring out not on summer vacation. Okay, my book tells me I had a new start, and I'm so flippin' excited about this new start. And I think you also need to be very excited about this new start. This is a sampler that I have had on my radar forever since the designer put it out. This is just called Heart Sampler by Fergus is their name. Fergus uses they, he pronouns in case you want to buy it and then gush about them. There's just It's 4 colors, and it's just everything. I love everything about it. I love absolutely everything about it. Absolutely. Is it huge? Yes. Did I need another huge project? Absolutely not. But during Pride, during Stitch for Pride, I had a day where it was stitch on something from a fellow two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, or pansexual, trans, intersex, queer, or ace designer. Anyone under the kind of queer umbrella. And this has been on my list since Fergus put it out there. And I just love it so much. And so I just said, it's time. It is time. It is time for a, first of all, a shout out to my crew at Brennan Needle. Am I using the Iron Maiden, the Spring Fling palette? Yes, I absolutely am. So I'm using I am using Saturday Night Radio Bingo. I am using Goobies. I am using The Hitch. And then I'm also using, this is DMC 3865 because I think it needs one more. So Fergus has DMC in his thing, in his pattern, but I'm just, why not use these freaking beautiful, this perfect palette. And I bought more because you need a lot of it. This is all I got. Oh, look at those colors. This is on, I'm going to say this is on, oh yeah, I think it's Picture This Plus in the pink. This is the same fabric I used for Vamp Valentine. She's right here. And then if you look below, that's Don't Touch Me. That's part of our Kari and my Spring Fling releases. You can get this one on Kari's website. You can get this one on Brennan Needle. It's far away. It's probably not so impressive, but let's talk about this one. The colors are fantastic. Fan-flippin-tastic. I cannot wait to stitch more on this piece. I am not necessarily following the color codes that Fergus gives, I'm switching it up so that I more evenly use the palette. In Fergus's pattern, there is one color that uses maybe like 4 skeins. It's very heavily dominant, and I'm trying to even it out a little bit more. So I got the first little hearts. I worked on this for a couple days. Also, speaking of things for sale, this is our Trans Pride Tapestry needle minder. I guess just our Pride Tapestry needle minders. A luxury few can afford. Still for sale. Wink. You deserve this sampler. Please, 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 you deserve it. I saw that Fergie Ferg is also doing, like, with a magazine, was it Canadian magazine? A Canadian one? They're also doing I think it was like a poisonous plants, and it looks fantastic. You got to. You simply must. I'm so excited that I have started that one. And I'm excited to share it with you. I've seen a couple people stitch on that. Nithya stitches on it. I think that's it. But if I were gonna say it, get the Brennan Needle Floss Pack. Do it. It's just so good. Unless you don't want fun. Unless you don't want to have fun. Okay, new start. Okay. I stitched on Jane Hopkins. Oh, she's upside down. Jane Hopkins, 1875, by Hands Across the Sea. This big, beautiful monstrosity. There are the sampler patterns that I love are patterns with a physical picture almost in the middle. So I also have Anne Thomas, the one with the big pigeon in the middle. I've stitched the pigeon before. I love that one because it's very there's a lot of detail to it, and I love this one too. And my plan for this one is, instead of stitching the name, I'm going to rechart the bottom, and it's going to say trans is beautiful. So it's kind of a pride piece. Here we go. Oh, that's all weird. One sec. So, by the way, folks, I have been stitching like this because I didn't know where this was. And guess what? It was just under a mess that I just cleaned. So I found it. I'm going to reassemble. Excuse me. I'm stitching this on a 40 count. This is my first. Ow. This is my first time I stitched on 40 count, my first pattern. And before I stitch everything, I only had the border, and for Stitch to Pride, I just did the big flower, and I wanted to get to the big flower, so I did a couple of there. I found out I love stitching, I love stitching one thread over two on 40 count. I love it very much. So after this, I did a lot more of it. I bought a lot of 40 count. This is just a 40 count, like light mocha. Is that a thing? I'm really excited. Also this pin. If you don't know, pay me and I'll tell you. These are all the flosses. Oh, she's so hefty. Look at that. It's a thick, that's a thick one. I watch a lot of people who stitch a lot of samplers, and when they bring out their floss ring and there's like 40 pieces, I just was like, I just want to not sniff them. That's weird of me. Like braid them. I was so happy to put a couple more pieces of work on this. This will probably come out probably in September too, right? Oh, she's got to be stuffed back in there. Oh no. Oh gee. Oh gee golly. Okay. Oh, speaking of another piece that had a lot of TLC this time, I stitched on Prarie Schooler, Where There Are Bees. You don't want to see my copy. It's run ragged already. Let me pop this out of its, there we are. And as I told you before, I got really into over one stitching, so I am stitching this over one. Let me just, I got a lot done. Oh no, disaster. Here we go. There we are. This is just, again, 25 count, I think. And it's just kind of an antique off-white. I only had, I think, this and this done, so I did all of it. I'm using DMC, but I am going a little bit rogue. I changed some of the, like, some of the colors are not the same as they're charted. Like I changed the honeycomb to yellow. You'll also see there's something on the word bees. It's a little bee. The bee, on the bee, there's a bee. On the bee, there's a bee. And that is because when I took this out, I realized that the little like vintage hoop that I got at like a thrift store, it was a little rusty. So we had some rust stains. We had a rust issue. And I was able to wash out most of it, but then there was one spot I couldn't, so put a bee on it. Just put a bee on it. Put a bee on that bee. Okay. Oh my gosh, so flippin' heavy. Jasmine, first of all, shout out to Jasmine Custom Bags. Holy crapola. Oh, I hit myself in the face with this. Dang, you'll never see a more luxurious bag. So it's heavy because I have a book inside. I am doing, I'll just show you this picture. I'm doing William Morris Crossstitch. There's a strawberry bird. It's so heavy. I have a great story about William Morris books. If you go back, you'll see. I got some done. 1/1. Natty got me this fabric. Could I tell you what it is? No, absolutely not. But the navy and these colors, they're like kind of vintagey colors, you know what I mean? We're trying. There we are, we did it. It really pops. So I did, I got down here and I got into the bird. He's so cute. I took away the border, by the way. Ain't no one want to do that border. Those are all the pieces I can show you that I did for Stitch for Pride. I did not keep up with all of it. I personally didn't do all the prompts, and I'll tell you why at the end. The other thing we did for Pride, and I say we, me and Kari, was we released something. I did not stitch this. This was stitched by our model designer, our model stitcher Kim, who stitched it like a champ. Like a champ. This is, oh no, all the floss went everywhere. This is, oh no. Oh, I'll do this. This is Lesbian Pride Tapestry. It is stitched on 32 count parfait by Picture This Plus. And she is gorgeous. She goes with our last lesbian, well, our last tapestry. It was a trans pride tapestry. This is the lesbian pride tapestry. So I identify as trans, Kari identifies as lesbian. So we are like a power team. The floss that was, oh, I love it's silk. So I love the orange is dinky dye. Everything else is almond M&Ms. And the stars are étoiles. So they shiny. Just in person, in camera, it's a little washed out. In person, it is like a dream. It is an absolute dream. It's bright. It's beautiful. I love her to death. I'm just tickled pink. So Kim stitched with the flosses from Almond M&Ms, and I'll show you. They are now for sale. Let me all get them all out. Red, green, and just a dream. So they are silks. They were custom dyed. Ymir custom dyed for us. They're now available on the Almond M&Ms website. So as a silk pack, so you can grab them. A word, I believe. The orange, you will need 2 skeins of the Dinky Dyes, and Kim told me you also probably need 2 skeins of the purple and the pink here. It's beautiful. We raised last year we did a tapestry. We did the Trans Pride Tapestry. We raised money for my favorite trans organizations. This year we took half of the money. When you buy this, half of the price went to the National Lesbian Rights Fund, and we raised 300 and something bucks Canadian. It's a dream. It's an absolute dream. Questions that I get is, will you do this identity? And I talked to Kari. We have at least one more in us, at least. And I will tell you that we will do only the identities that we are in our wheelhouse. That's, I don't know. If I'm going to say something to the world, I want to say something about my identity. You know what I mean? Not that the other identities aren't equally important. We wanted to put out a trans one. We wanted to put out a lesbian one. And we've got a couple more identities in us that will be out. Yeah. So I say this as in, like, we're not going to do every identity over the sun in unicorns. Even though, like, we would love to. I think we're going to just stick with the ones that we identify with. And then move on to something bigger and better, right? Trends, nope. Lesbian Pride Tapestry is available now. Please go get her. Go stitch her. She's gorgeous. She is the same size as her girlfriend, the Trans Pride Tapestry. They're girlfriends. It's canon. Please go get them, stitch them together. It's great. Kari did a great job with the art. Kari actually has the original art as prints, so if you don't want to stitch the whole thing, you can just buy the print. The other thing is, I believe Jessie from Mislaid Pages, you're going to have to ask them. They did a Dinky Dyes conversion of the Almond M&M silks. So maybe they'll do like a Dinky Dyes silk pack. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. That was a big release that we're very proud of. That was released. I'm 15 minutes and haven't even told you about my vacation. And then at the end of June, I went on a grand journey. I went to North Carolina and Tennessee with my partner. And it was half because my my partner had a conference in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I said, I'm fucking going. I'm a Sagittarius. I need to travel. And I haven't gotten to very recently. So we landed in Nashville, Tennessee. We drove across the Appalachian Mountains. We stopped in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and then we drove to the Charlotte. We stayed in Charlotte for a bit, and then we rounded out and went to Asheville, North Carolina. It was an amazing journey. It felt very unlike anywhere else I've ever been. We actually got married in North Carolina. Weird story. We eloped. Also weird story. But we eloped in the Outer Banks, and the coast of North Carolina is very different than inside of North Carolina. And very different than Tennessee. Highlights. I went to Dollywood. Bucket list. I went to Dollywood, and it was everything I could possibly want. The food was great. The roller coasters were absolutely amazing. It was a really weird, like, space where outside of Gatlinburg, it's very it's very not me. It's very it's very cis. It's very white. It's very not trans. When I say cis, I mean not trans. It's not very queer. It's a lot of big families who didn't like the fact that us two Canadians were wearing masks. There were a couple comments that there were a lot of like knife stores in Gatlinburg. There were also a lot of Confederate flags. That was weird, like in stores and in merch. That was weird. There was a lot of, anyway. That was a eye-opening wake up. But then you go into Dollywood, and I see queer families and trans families. I saw a fellow trans person with "Don't mess with trans kids," a "Don't mess with trans kids" t-shirt, and I just was like, I love your t-shirt. And we had a moment. We said Happy Pride. It was just really nice. So it's Dollywood is this, like, or at least how I experienced it, it brings together like the big families, heteronormative families, and then there's also these like queers, because Dolly loves everyone and is very vocal about loving everyone. Man, dang, that's dope. Like it's really Dolly gives the South a really good name. Gosh. And I was told by someone else, I was there on a Sunday, I was told by someone she was there on Saturday. She was Anyway, that was a beautiful experience. Charlotte was wonderful. Asheville was wonderful. The Appalachian Mountains, we went to the Appalachian Folk Center. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I love it very much. I love folk art with all my being. I love it so much. But okay, I could spend like a whole time telling you about my thing, but I don't. I know what you want to see is what I got. Because I went to an LNS. So there's a I don't use Facebook, but I went back on Facebook for this. There's a group called like Crossstitch or like Needlework Road Trip, and they have a whole list of the active needlework shops. A lot of the needlework shops near me, like in Charlotte, were like needle point. They didn't have a lot of cross stitch, but there was one. Oh, and Sassy Jacks used to be in Asheville, North Carolina. They are no longer. I think they're rebuilding. They're going somewhere else. So I didn't get to visit that, but I did get to go to Sandy's X Stitch on the Go. Sandy's X Stitch on the Go is in her house. Is in the back of her house. And what you like, we're just like we're driving around, we're like, put the address in, we're like, oh, this is a house, this is someone's house. Sandy is lovely. We talked a bunch. And she has a great collection of older stuff that you just don't see anymore. And my downfall was she only took cash or check because, yeah. And I had used up all of our American cash. So we had like, I was like picking stuff I had. And then she mentioned, oh, cash or check. And my partner looks at me and is like, oh, we have $90, sir. So I wanted to get some stuff for you all at Sandy's, but I only had $90, so I spent it on me. So let me show you what I got. I got some hand-dyed fabric. It's not hand-dyed by Sandy, but I think a local stitcher in the area. This is 28 count linen, and it's this like just red. You don't see this. You do not see this. I loved it so much, and like it was so unique that I absolutely had to have it. The other fabric I got, I asked Sandy if she had any 40 count. She's like, I do. She opened up a closet. This is just a 40 count natural linen, because you cannot have enough. You absolutely cannot have enough. And then I bought, what else did I buy? Oh, needles, of course. Why not? 28 count. And then I bought 2 patterns. First is a Prarie Schooler that I've never seen before. It's called Village Green. Very cute. I bought it because of those chickens. Are you kidding me? Look at the chicks in the background. I'm dying. And I love it. So what I think I'll do is I will make this into a needle book, and I'll put the chickens on each side and then the chicks on the inside, so you open up, there's chicks inside. And then this is something I've never seen before. Dames of the Needle, designed for the Sampler Guild of Georgia, and Acorns and Threads. What? Huh. It's an acorn and leaf fob ruler. So freaking cute. So it's a scissor fob with needles, and then the little ruler with the little acorn. Flippin' cute. Dang, so cute. So cute. I even see hold on. Here we are. There's a little squirrel. I thought this was so unique that I had to. I love it very much. Is it a project that I will sit down and do? Yes, let's say yes. That's what I got. That's what I got. We spent under $90. We still had enough for food. But I had a really good time at Sandy's X Stitch on the go. Dang, I love an LNS, folks. The other place I went that is, look at this, the Biltmore. So if you don't know about the Biltmore estate, it is George Vanderbilt's house, and it's huge. It's on It's very, very big. It's like a rich person's theme park. Like you could do like falconry on it. You could ride horses. We did the tour. And it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot to see. Like George Vanderbilt just had like Renoirs everywhere. Just Monets. Rich people. Anyway, I bought, oh, they had a cross stitch thing, so I had to buy it. The Posy Collection, Fine Needlework Design, created in America to honor our needlework heritage, preserving our story in stitches. I don't know how I feel about that. I love it. So good. So it comes in a pack. This is a disaster. This is a curse. Hey, it looks nice, but don't do this. This is a disaster. So, and it comes with 14 count and a needle that I'll probably throw away. Who uses those needles? And I'll do it small. I'll do it small. It's full coverage. I like it. I'm a sucker for local landmark cross stitch. I'm an absolute sucker for it. Okay. Wow. I got a wedgie. One sec. Oh no. I'm not going to cut this. Absolutely not. You have to hear me. Oops. It was a front wedgie too. Okay. We're getting down to brass tacks, folks. A couple of things when I got home. I got into the Fiberlicious Color of the Month Club. And I did this because it's hard to get fabric up in Canada. It's hard to get a variety of fabric up in Canada. And if you need it, you need to wait for it. So I decided to beef up my collection by getting into Fiberlicious. I got into the 36 count linen. This was May's. April showers bring May flowers. This is so Kari. Kari's gonna design, we're gonna design something on this so hard. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I got enough of it so we can design a couple things. Beautiful. I chose Fiberlicious to be on their Fiber of the Month because, or their Fabric of the Month, because I think this is the most Kari and I, when we design, we like the bright colors. So that was May. I did get June. June was a blue, like sea foamy sort of thing. Not sea foam, like a blue. It was called Mermaid Mule, like mule as in the drink. And it was bright blue with some soft greens in it. That's actually at Kari's now because she's stitching her August release on it. And let me tell you, it's so trans. It's so, you'll love it. Hopefully next Flosstube in August. You'll see. You'll see. I also got some very kind mail. I just cleaned this up. Let me look at my. Is it in here? Oh no. Oh no. Wait. Oh, here. Yes. Okay. The first thing I got was from Linda, and Linda lives in England. I think I sent Linda something from our snail mail club. So every Flosstube video I send out, I pick someone in the comments and I send out just a little snail mail, and Linda got one and she sent something back. You absolutely do not need to send something back, but this was given to me, and I'll talk about it later, but it was during a really rough time. I'm gonna cry. Linda, you're making me cry. First of all, she sent a cute little coaster. This is a little reminder that you are a truly marvelous human being. And the little rainbow. Linda. Linda, I got this because when I was feeling very down, very blue, and so it came at the right moment. May you be proud of the work you do, the person you are, and the difference that you make. You got me. That was all the mail that I've received. Like, it comes at the perfect time. So Linda, yours came at the perfect time. Thank you so much. It's gonna go up on my wall. Another piece that came at the right time. I came back from vacation, and my friend Aya sent me, first of all, a beautiful piece of art with a note on the back. I am putting this, I think Aya knows about my bee room. I'm putting this up on that. Watercolor, gorgeous. And then I mentioned, I saw these on Instagram and I said, God, I love them so much. And they're pronoun pins that Aya stitched over one. You kidding me? So I have a, on my collared shirts, I usually put my pronoun pins when I go out. So I'm going to put them on my collared shirts. Thank you so much. Again, like, these came with the note about Stitch for Pride, like, came at the right time. So thank you. This is so smart. I think I'd like to see more of these, like, from everyone. Pronouns are great. Okay. I will show you one more thing before we get into education. It's going to be kind of education, kind of about like a debrief about Stitch for Pride. There is something that I have been stitching on for basically a month, over a month. I can't show you it, but I'm just so, oh good, you didn't see it. I'm so stoked about it. I want to show you like something. So I'm going to show you like a bit of the back. Okay, that's it. I have been very hard at work stitching a model for a certain box that I'm not producing. My friend at Fangirl Fibers is producing. So if you were lucky enough to get the Haunted America box, it's coming, it's coming. I love it so much. At first I was kind of like, oh, it's so much. I love it so much. I can't wait to show it to you. It's out in October, so I'm going to be finishing it soon, probably the end of July. Hopefully. It's going faster than I thought. But I won't be able to show it to you until then. So sad. Oh, there's a lot more going on, so I'll be able to show you a lot more. Okay. That's it. That was, oh, let me show you my spread. May, Rainbow, baby! June. And then that's July so far. Dang. Okay. I'm gonna do our snail mail giveaway. Before we do, I'm gonna do a little bit of education. And this is gonna be like education / debrief about Stitch for Pride, because I have some like thoughts and feelings that I want to talk about. If this isn't your bag, then it's not your bag. Sure, you can skip to the giveaway, I guess, right? But I will let you know, like, at my roots, I'm an educator, and so this is I consider pretty important stuff. Okay, let's talk about Stitch for Pride. I have thoughts about it. So I created it. It was a lot of work. Oh. But how I teach is I'm just like, I provide resources to those who need it and want it. And this was a good way for me to do kind of an outreach to the stitching community, saying like, hey, if you want to learn about my community and our history, the good and the like not so good, here is an easy way to do it. And the excitement up front for it was, I think, set my expectations a little bit too high, you know what I mean? There were people who, I put out a little Instagram thing saying like, I will stitch for pride. And a lot of people were using it. A lot of floss tubers that I thought, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure, awesome. And then when June 1st rolled around, I almost say, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed, because the people who I knew were going to show up, they showed up, right? It's like this, you and I, if you're watching this, you and I are in this bubble of accomplices and queer people and people in our community. We're in this bubble. And what we do very well is support each other. The people who are accomplices, people are in the community, we're really good at supporting each other. It did not up front have a lot more reach. You know what I mean? My goal was to reach beyond this bubble. And at first I was disappointed because it didn't seem to have the effect. Let me kind of put it a different way. When I do workshops for gender inclusion, and I always say, and I've done workshops for a while now, the people who usually show up to my workshops are not usually the people who need them the most. Does that make sense? The people who show up are the people who always show up. They're either trans themselves and want to learn more, or they're like really big accomplices who are vocal and want to work. And I love that. I love that, but it's hard because the people who need the information the most are usually the ones who don't participate. So I was hoping Stitch for Pride would be a door to people who aren't usually in this bubble. So the first, I expected that maybe there was being a little bit more, but it was concentrated into bubble form. Which is not a bad thing. All of my friends, all of the people who did Stitch for Pride, even if you only did a couple days, even if you were behind, like, it brought me joy. It really, truly, truly did. And then something happened, and Stitch for Pride got outside the bubble. And I think this is what happened. I tagged I stitched on a sampler, a Hands Across the Sea sampler, and I tagged with tags that usually aren't inside of our bubble. I tagged with like sampler stitcher, or sampler stitchers of Instagram, of the Jane Hopkins, of like Hands Across the Sea. I tagged those things. So instantly Stitch for Pride then went outside of this bubble. And then when it went outside and it became more visible out into the world, outside of this bubble, then I started getting people who disliked that there was specifically Black transness on their feed, because it was a picture of Marsha P. Johnson. They lashed out. And there were publicly just a couple of comments. And I want to thank my bubble, my beautiful bubble, who went back, just shut them down beautifully. If you took time to do that, you did it beautifully. But the direct messages and the emails, they got to be a lot. Absolutely. Absolutely. I won't tell you like what were in them, but it was a lot. It was a lot on me. So I shut down. Me personally, I shut down. I shut down. I kept doing the posts, but I didn't interact with a lot. I was very careful with my tags. And then I just let it, and then I went on vacation and I just kind of dropped it. So here's the weird kind of conundrum that I'm dealing with right now. I wanted Stitch for Pride to be outside of our bubble. I wanted floss tubers and stitchers who had never interacted with this sort of community, this sort of education. I wanted them to try it and to talk about it, so this sort of stuff could be more visual. What happened instead is I had a beautiful community, a bubble of people that I know who engaged with it, and that is great. And then the knowledge went, or at least the imagery went outside of our bubble, and then I got backlash. So now I'm thinking, how do we move forward? How do I move forward with this? Do I want to do this again? Honest answer, I'm not sure yet. One of the things I want to talk about is like, how can we make this better? How can we make sure that if a Black trans woman is on cross stitchers feed, more likely than not, they'll either A, ignore it, or B, be excited about it, or at least C, like, be nonplussed about it. Like, if they see a Black trans woman, they shouldn't like want to write hateful things to a trans person. That's my goal. That's my goal. So how do we do that in the community? I'm going to go back to one of the things I talk about in my inclusivity, gender inclusivity workshops. And that is, if it's okay to say that you're inclusive, whether you're a producer, whether you're a floss tuber, whether you run cross stitch, what's it called? Retreats. It's okay to say you're inclusive, but you have to do something. You have to actually make it inclusive. If there is more inclusivity in our active inclusivity in our community, in the cross stitch community, then it is less likely that marginalized people will feel like they're being pushed out. Or just to go back to my example, it's less likely that I will get instant messages and emails telling me awful things, right? If these people see that see it more and more, if they see transness and blackness and queerness and indigenousness, if they see the inclusivity more and more, then they'll be less likely to lash out. So how do we do that? The thing that I tell theater producers is you actively have to make marginalized people less marginalized, less to the side. So you need to hire them. And again, this is for theater, right? You need to hire them. You need to highlight them. You need to make sure that they're not just one in a sea of whiteness or cisness or straightness, right? So what does that mean for our cross-stitch community? I think this is when I call on the people who run retreats and the people who run the expos and the people who run the needlework, like getting new designers, and actively y'all have the power to create visibility. Specifically invite Black stitchers, Indigenous stitchers, trans stitchers, or Black designers, Indigenous designers, trans designers, right? Invite them. If you have to pay, like, for example, for a lot of marginalized identities, we don't have, like, across the board, marginalized identities tend to have less disposable income than their white cis counterparts. And I'm not saying that, like, all trans people are poor and all white people are rich, or all cis people are rich. Like, no. I'm just saying, like, across the board, right? So, like, give scholarships, right? In our theater community, we literally have, like, hey, if you're Black, Indigenous, or a performer of color, or if you're trans and you can't afford that, message us and we'll give you a free ticket, right? Or we'll give you a discounted scholarship class. I wish the cross-stitch world had that, because there's a financial steeple as well, right? Inviting marginalized designers to do a class, right? Making marginalized members of the community more visible, actively making marginalized community members more visible. That will help. But in order to do that, you have to actively do something. You can't just say, we're inclusive, yay, we love everyone. I'm sure you do, but you have to actively make it happen. I will end with a story. So I got all these messages and it made me feel real low. Not sure that I wanted to either put myself out there, or B, like, does Stitch for Pride make a difference? And during this kind of moment, I got a message from a Flosstuber, and she said, hey, I stitched your Don't Mess with Trans Kids pattern. And that's a pattern that we have for free on Stitch Club, on our Stitch Club newsletter. And then she said, other people want to stitch it. Can I, like, how do I tell them, like, how to get it? And this is a big deal. And I went back to watch their video with her finish. And I just, like, because this stitcher, her and I have communicated a bunch separately, but her bubble is very different in terms of, like, audience, is very different from my own. And seeing a stitcher say, who is outside of the bubble, out of, like, she might be watching this, so she's still in my bubble, but who has a different audience than I do, say, I stitched this and this is important to me. And then have her message me and say, other people want to stitch your pattern. Dang. So this ends on a bright note. I think the people need to use their audience, and I want to see more marginalized visibility, because that's how we normalize it, right? So that is to say, Stitch for Pride had this for me, right? It was a lot of work. I put in a lot of work. And I got a lot of joy out of it, and I got new connections, and I got like support from people who appreciate me and people who are in that bubble. And then on the other side, I got just weeks worth of nasty. And you can say like, oh, just ignore it. But boy, it's tough, right? So that's my, I guess, call to action, right? Making this more visible, making trans people more visible, marginalized identities more invisible, actively doing so, I think will help. So if the stitcher who I talked about, who stitched the Don't Mess with Trans Kids, if she's watching that, thank you. And I hope that if you are a stitcher who is, your audience is not used to having discussions about trans rights, taking time to do that, it means a lot for sure, right? And to those who are, like I say in my bubble, y'all are doing great. You're doing great. You keep at it, please. I love you very much. Okay. We'll talk about Stitch for Pride next year, and I'll decide what to do. I'll have to talk to some people I trust. Yeah. If you learned something from Stitch for Pride, let me know. If you learned something about inclusivity, let me know. I also have a Ko-fi link. You can buy me a coffee if you want to. Okay, this is a long video. Let me finish this up. Let us go to our snail mail club. Every Flosstube, I pick one person who has left a comment, and you've had to leave a comment, and you have to sorry, I'm talking and I'm doing. You had to leave a comment, and you also have to be a follower. So I'm going to pick a comment from my last Flosstube video, Flosstube number 12, a spring road trip and a spring fling. Wow, that was a long time ago. And I'm going to put that in my random comment generator. If you want to be part of this list, you have to leave a comment. You have to be a follower. You also have to fill out a snail mail form so I can get your address and everything. That's down below. Okay. Not from Facebook. Here we go. Let's see. Nope, that's Instagram. Let's see. YouTube. This is bad. I'm not going to edit either. Okay, let's see. start. We're generating. Oops. Yes. Paste my video. Get YouTube. Sorry, the CAPTCHA you entered is wrong. Oh, I need to enter a CAPTCHA 6 + 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10. I should have done this beforehand, but okay. Let's see. Do 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 do. I know her. Kaylee Crossstitch. It's just us talking about Natty. Hells yeah. Kaylee, I'm gonna send you something from Dollywood. Just try to stop me. Thank you, Kaylee. Okay, I'll make sure Kaylee has filled out the form. If not, I'll pick someone else. I'm sure Kaylee has filled out the form. Okay. If you, this is such a long video, and if you made it thus far, you deserve a prize in itself. If you would like a bag, oh, this is, oh, I forgot to mention, it's been a year since I started floss tubing. This is like a year, I started in July last year. So this is number 13. I think this is floss tube number 13. I am going to fill one of these bags that I showed you before from Kaylee Croft from the sewingshop.ca. I'm going to send you a bag and I'm going to put stuff in it. What kind of stuff? I don't know. I've got patterns. I've got maybe some floss. I've got maybe some needle minders. I've got candy. I've got definitely souvenirs from a lot of my travels that need to go somewhere. So let's call this my first anniversary, Flosstube anniversary giveaway. So all you have to do is comment on this video, make sure you're a subscriber, make sure you have filled out the snail mail form, and in August I will pick one person and they will get so much stuff. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, I think that's it. Plans, I gotta finish a model. And maybe that rainbow Quaker tile. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Okay. I forgot what I say. I say, thank you very much. I love you very much. And I'm your Stitch Dad, and I'm very proud of you. Okay.